Hello everyone, my name is Void Doctor and welcome back to another episode on the InfinityCraft server. And today we're starting out this episode on a pretty shoeless note. As you can see here, my shoes are broken, so maybe I should go get some new shoes. However, now that we've gotten our shoes all fixed, we can actually start working on the projects I want to work on in today's episode. The first of which being a copper farm in Too Much Mustard's kingdom, because I personally don't have a vested interest in copper because Too Much Mustard has the rights to all the copper trade on the server. So, yeah, I can't personally export it, but I think establishing a copper farm in his kingdom for him will establish a very good relationship between our two kingdoms. And now you may start to notice why he may find a copper farm useful. Alright, this spawner seems like a pretty good place to put our copper farm, and I've actually widened it out a bit. However, the next thing we need to do is just dig down a few blocks. Alright, now it's time to add the water, and if you're actually wondering how this farm works, essentially the zombies flow down here from the spawner, go down there, and there's going to be like a water hole right there where they drown and turn into drown, which have a chance of dropping copper. Alright, the killing system is going to rely on a slightly modified etho hopper clock. I actually changed my mind. I'd much rather use slime blocks than anything else because it's just much more seamless to swap the blocks here. So I actually had to go out and grab slime blocks, which was not fun. But now I'm just going to install a bit of a collection system here. Alright, now I'm just getting some form of steampunk inspired interior set up in here. Alright, here we go. A pretty simple interior for the farm, and this side just says maintenance and it leads down to sort of the underbelly of the farm. Alright, okay, here we are. Can't really see them here. If you want to, I can install a window, but that's the maintenance hatch. Yeah, this is where they all get slaughtered right here. And so far, it's produced a whopping total of, right, 3 copper. Alright, that was a successful operation at Too Much Mustard's base, and I think he really likes the farm. However, the next thing I'm going to do is going to be pretty off camera. I'm going to add interiors to all of these builds on stream. So if you want to catch any of my future streams, just follow me on Twitch at VoidDoctorLive and you'll get that little notification. Put silk touch on my axe, and now we have bees. Well, hello there, ladies and gentlemen. I come to you with a fantastic announcement. It's time to dig a hole. And it is going to be a fabulous hole. It is going to be an 11 by 5 by 6 hole. So enjoy the hole digging. Alright, the hole is now completed. Now, you may be asking yourselves, what do we need this hole for? And that, my friends, is for a sheep farm. So, let's get building. Alright, so I've just hopped out of the mines, gathered a bit of cobblestone, and now I think it's time we got started on some sort of shell for the wool farm. And for this shell, I think we're going to need quite a diverse set of materials. We'll need some dirt, some bottles, also a water bucket, and some trapdoors. Alright, so now I think it's time we start gathering ourselves a bit of mud. Okay, it's time to gather some granite. Alright, we've got ourselves some granite, and we got ourselves a nice little bonus as well. Never mind, we actually need to gather another stack. And now we need to go find a jungle. And I have no clue where the nearest one is. You know, sometimes I think I may just be an idiot, but then other times I'm just an idiot, actually. I'm an idiot with a computer and a microphone. And yes, I am a monster. And now it's time for us to possibly die and drown at the bottom of the river gathering some clay. All right, got ourselves some clay. All right, let's actually get working now. Alright, now I've actually begun moving some sheep into the farm. Oh my gosh, that took forever. And I feel like I've aged 35 years in the last hour. It was a painful process indeed. But now that it's finally done, it's pretty cool to have the farm up and running. No floor here, which is a little unfortunate, but it's fine, it's fine. We don't need a floor there. We can live with that one. However, the next thing I'd like to work on is also an automatic farm. However, this one will make us a considerable amount of money. An automatic pumpkin farm. And it's actually this season going to be the fancy design. You know, the one with the note blocks and the observers? Yeah, that design. And this is all in an effort to monopolize my access to villager trading as early as possible. However, my pickaxe and same with my helmet are both about to break. So I think it's time we actually put some mending on the helmet. All right, here we go. Mending on the helmet. Thank you, sir. Oh, the quartz. Thank you. All right, now I think it's time for a bit of a third-person mining time-lapse. So, as always, enjoy the time-lapse. All right, got all the stone I could need, and now I'm actually going to go mine some redstone as well, since I'm running pretty low and I need some for this farm. Okay, now we're getting ourselves the resources and need to make ourselves some pistons. Quite a few, actually. All right, now we actually have to get ourselves some seeds here. All right, so we've got all the resources we need, and now we need to dig another very large hole. I think it needs to be 9 by 9 by 7. So that's 7 times 81 blocks. That's a lot of blocks. And now we need a new shovel. And now its name is just getting extremely long. Anyway, we're gonna do the entire farm, part of the farm, in the form of a third-person time-lapse. So, as always, enjoy the time-lapse. All right, the farm is all up and running, and I've actually left it running for about 30 minutes now while I go grab lunch at 4 o'clock p.m. And it's produced 27 pumpkins. But before we build any sort of shell around it, we're just going to cover it up for now. I'd like to get some farmer villagers just somewhere so I can begin trading pumpkins to them because I want my money now. Actually, I think we can do two things at once. I think we can build a shell around the farm and also make the shell a home for our farmer villagers. And would you look at that? The miracle of life begins. So, after harmlessly harvesting some natural resources from Too Much Mustard's kingdom, I managed to get myself some calcite, which is pretty essential for the build I'd like to create. However, I now unfortunately need to go gather diorite. Yes, we just got our first pumpkin trader. Oh my gosh, this is fantastic. All right, now we need to go do some chopping. Okay, I've got all the materials for this build, and I think it's time we got working. All right, folks, the farmer house is complete, and I'm actually super happy with how this has come together. Like, the color palette looks nice, and overall, I'm happy with the shape. However, I'm now moving on to transporting the villagers. So I'm just gonna break their beds, and, well, they're gonna have a very interesting night tonight. All right, folks, the farmers have been officially moved into their new home, and I don't know, I really like it in here. The feeling is very nice. We need to fix the ceiling because it looks ugly right now, but I'm very lazy and also sick. So maybe we save that for another day. Okay, so the last thing I wanted to do in today's episode was just get some plans going and sort of get a to-do list of the things I need to do off camera and on streams going, because I was sort of out of ideas. And so I started laying out some plans here, so I actually had some stream content. And I did run out of wool, but I do want to also start working on some of the back streets and back alleyways that are going to lead to some other districts, and also maybe start working on the waterfront. But again, I ran out of wool. So I think we're going to start with the Capitol building, and then maybe the... I just almost got demonetized. But for the most part, I think this is actually a really solid plan. I'm pretty excited for how this city is going to start expanding. And if you have a name for this city, just put it in the comments below. I'm super excited to see what names you all have. However, I think it's about time we wrap this episode up. So, as always, my name has been Void Doctor. I hope you all enjoyed today's episode on the InfinityCraft server. If you did, and feel inclined to do so, please make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next episode. Take care. Bye for now.